Welcome to the deep dive. Let's get straight into it.
Okay.
The May 2025 issue of CPA Flight Lines just dropped.
Yeah.
And wow, it's really packed. Everything you need on Colorado aviation right now.
Yeah, it's like a shortcut to being totally up to speed, isn't it?
Exactly. Consider this your quick brief.
And the range of stuff in here is pretty impressive. You've got the president's take, event news, some, cool history bits.
And member stories, too. It really covers the bases.
It does. A full picture.
So, our mission today: pull out the best bits for you, the key updates, events you might want to check out, and the bigger trends we're seeing.
Sounds good. Where do we start?
Let's kick things off with the President's Corner. Adrian and I's thoughts.
Okay. So, Adrian highlights Chris Kilker taking over as Activities Committee Chair.
Good move. So expect more events soon.
Looks like it. He says Chris is already getting things organized, which is great news for everyone who enjoys those CPA gatherings.
Definitely. And speaking of connecting, there's the membership directory opt-in.
Right, that's open now. Important if you want other members to be able to find you. It's not automatic.
You got to actively choose to be in it. The link for instructions is in the newsletter page. Well, it's on the CPA site, coloradopilots.org.
Easy enough to find. Now, Adrian also talked about the WAI conference near DIA, the Women in Aviation International one.
Yeah. How was that?
Huge turnout, like 5,000 people. Shows how much energy there is in aviation right now.
Wow. And CPA was there?
Yep, shared a booth with the Colorado Division of Aeronautics. Good visibility, you'd imagine.
But didn't he mention something unusual?
Yeah, this was interesting. Apparently, all the U.S. government entities just pulled out, packed up their booths. Kind of sudden.
Really? Strange. Did it quiet things down?
He said no. The exhibit hall was still buzzing. And the Education Committee, Michael Mayfield and Kelly Kang, they had their own thing going for Girls in Aviation Day.
With the Redbird simulator.
Exactly. And apparently it was a massive hit, just running nonstop all Saturday morning.
I can believe it. Those things are great for getting people hooked, aren't they?
Totally. It's that hands-on feel, makes flying seem real, achievable.
Right.
And sticking with training, he also touched on the Redbird Migration Conference. That was at Wing Centennial.
Oh, yeah, the one focused on flight instruction.
Said it was worthwhile. Good insights there. And they're trying to line up a pretty big speaker for the CPA annual meeting because of connections made there.
Ooh, intriguing. So putting WAI and Redbird migration together, what's the overall sense Adrian got?
Well, it seems like kind of a split picture. Flight training, booming, lots of activity.
Good sign. But
the airline hiring side might be cooling off a bit. He mentioned seeing really long lines for airline interviews at WAI, mostly guys in suits.
So lots of pilots looking for those specific jobs. Maybe more than available spots right now.
Could be something to watch, definitely, where the opportunities really are.
Yeah, good point for anyone planning a career path.
On a lighter note, Adrian also mentioned the good flying weather finally returning to Colorado.
About time. We've all been waiting.
Yeah, and he joked about his own radio skills being a bit rusty after the winter break.
I think we could all relate to that feeling. A good reminder to stay sharp.
Absolutely. Always need to brush up. Okay, so shifting to CPA NOTAMs, what's key there?
Well, first, a quick plug for this format, actually. The CPA Flight Lines podcast gives you a monthly summary, just like this deep dive. Good for catching up.
Convenient, and then there's this petition circulated.
Right, on change.org.
Yeah.
It's about the FAA potentially using ADS-B data for landing fees.
Yeah, that's a hot topic. Could really impact GA pilots financially if they go that route.
Definitely. The petition urges them to rethink it.
Yeah.
We've got the link if you want to check it out and sign changey.it, then a slash, then QIRNCBQNMC.
Worth looking into. And the last note, Tim.
It links to an article about Glenwood Springs Municipal Airport.
Oh, the transition to the nonprofit KGWS Summers Air Park.
Exactly. Interesting to see how different airports are structuring themselves. That link's on airportimprovement.com.
Cool. Always need to see those developments.
Okay, let's look ahead. Events coming up in May 2025 here in Colorado.
First up, the CPA monthly board meeting. That's Monday, May 5th in Broomfield.
And members can attend, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
In person at Shelter, or you can join online. There's a link on the site, or a bit.ly link, bit.ly board meeting.
Good way to see how things work and give input.
Definitely encouraged. Also, there's the Centennial Airport Community Noise Roundtable.
Ah, yes. Wednesday, May 7th, down in Inglewood. Always important.
Crucial for a busy airport like Kappa. Again, you can go in person or join via webinar. Need to register for that one. Links in the newsletter.
Got it. Okay, now for a fun bit, the blast from the past. Looking back at May 2018 flight lines.
I like this section. It really shows how far things can come in just a few years.
Totally. So what was the big news back in May 18?
The main feature was Buy Aerospace flying their Sunflyer prototype. Remember that? At Centennial.
Wow, yeah. And look where we are now in 2025.
Exactly. Now they're building the first certified Part 23 E-Flyer 2, also at Centennial, and it's using a Safran motor now.
That's serious progress. Safran's a big name.
Huge. Back in 18, they were already talking about the potential, though, revolutionizing
The
GA.
operating costs were the big thing, right? Like $3 an hour for the Sunflyer 2.
Yeah, incredible compared to pistons. Plus, no carbon emissions, much quieter.
All the benefits we're still talking about.
hmm The article also mentioned their partners back then, EP Systems for batteries, LG Chem for the cells, shows those collaborations started early.
It really highlights that Colorado's been a hub for this electric aviation push for a while.
Definitely. Oh, and the 2018 issue also mentioned the governor's wildfire outlook briefing, also held at Centennial.
A reminder that wildfire preparedness is, sadly, always relevant here. Aviation's role is key.
Always. Which kind of leads nicely into current CPA activities.
Right, like the wildfire training exercises in April.
Yeah, the Colorado Army National Guard working with the Division of Fire Prevention and Control. Big joint effort.
Involved lots of agencies, local and even out of state, didn't it? Operating out of Buckley and Longmont.
Yep. Shows that essential preparation for the fire season. Very important stuff.
And sticking with airports, another milestone mentioned is at Centennial again.
Ah, the unleaded fuel, UL-94.
2 years now. 2 years they've had it available.
And they've really pushed it, haven't they, with the STC reimbursement and the fuel subsidy?
They have. Explaining STCs, that's the supplemental type certificate, right? Lets older planes use the new fuel.
Exactly. And it seems to be working. UL-94 is now over 20% of their piston fuel sales.
That's significant progress.
Yeah.
Good to see the Aeronautical Board grants helping out too, moving towards cleaner flying.
Definitely a positive trend. And CPA is also busy inspiring the next generation.
Yeah, the student outreach sounds fantastic. We mentioned the Girls in Aviation Day.
With the Redbird sim being so popular and Kelly Kang, the CFI, helping out.
And that keynote speaker, Jessica Cox, the armless pilot.
Incredible. What an inspiration she must have been for those attendees.
Absolutely.
But
the outreach continued, right? At Wings Over the Rockies.
Yep. They had a table at the Career Symposium there, end of April. Kelly Kang again, plus Melissa Curry and Mike Mayfield.
Just talk to people about careers,
Yeah.
scholarships,
Yeah,
getting the word out.
exactly. So important for keeping the pipeline strong.
Okay, now this next article title definitely caught my eye. New members, a story you really need to hear.
Bill Marvel's piece. Yeah, he touches on, new members getting involved and maybe some generational perspectives.
But the story itself.
It's pretty amazing. It's about a young pilot named Calvin. He's only 28.
And his flight time is
Yeah,
insane.
totally. Get this. 3,300 total hours. 2,200 of that is turbine time. And 1,200 PIC and turbines.
At 28. Wow. The picture shows him in his new office, a cockpit, obviously.
Yeah. Just smashes any idea that you need to be, older to be incredibly experienced and successful in aviation. Passion and dedication.
What a great story. Really inspiring. Okay, looking forward now on the horizon. What fly-ins are coming up?
Big one planned for the 4th of July weekend. Butte, Montana. July 3rd to 6th.
Ooh, Butte. Sounds like a proper adventure. KVTM.
Yeah, it looks like a really well-planned trip. Arrive Thursday, catered lunch right at the airport, the ore cart,
Nice and easy.
then happy hour, an outdoor picnic, and supposedly Montana's biggest fireworks show that night.
Kicking it off with a bang, literally. What about Friday the 4th?
They're doing the town's parade, then an excursion out to Lewis and Clark Caverns State Park. Includes lunch and a tour of the cavern.
Oh, cool. That sounds amazing.
And then dinner Friday night at a place called Ribs and Chop House.
That sounds like a full, fun couple of days. Who's organizing?
Kevin Kondrowski is the contact. His number's in the newsletter. Registration form is on page 22. Cost is $165 per person.
Great chance to fly somewhere new and hang out with fellow pilots.
For sure. And they also dropped a quick reminder about another fly-in later in the summer.
Sheridan, Wyoming, right?
Yep, August 22nd to 24th. Just a heads up to keep that one in mind, too.
Lots of opportunities to get out and fly together.
Definitely. Okay, nearing the end. That's a wrap section, covers a recent event in Akron, Colorado.
Ah, the talk by Randy Hayes from the aircraft painting business.
Yeah, sounds like he gave some really practical insights. Talked about his family business, the airport's history, and the nitty-gritty of painting planes.
Did anything stand out?
Well, the cost of paint itself has apparently shot up over the last decade. Quite significantly.
Ouch. Any tips for saving money?
He recommended lighter base colors. Fewer trim colors keeps labor and material costs down.
Makes sense.
Also pointed out it's more work, so more expensive to paint planes with round head rivets versus flush rivets.
Ah, interesting detail.
And he apparently prefers not to do bonded aircraft like Grumman singles because the prep work is much more involved.
Huh. Real-world stuff pilots might not think about until they need a paint job. Valuable info.
Exactly. Those practical nuggets are great.
Okay, couple more events to highlight. One is pretty unique. The Centennial Airport Runway 5K.
Oh yeah, that's coming up June 7th. A chance to actually run or walk on a taxiway and runway at CAPA.
How cool is that? And it's for a good cause, right?
Absolutely. Last year, they raised over $65,000 for aviation scholarships, aiming higher this year.
Fantastic. And they have some special appearances lined up.
Yeah, sounds like fun. The Broncos mascot and cheerleaders, the Denver Police Helicopter Air 1, a historic DC-3,
The 1943 one? Nice.
and the big ARFF Stryker fire trucks from South Metro Fire Rescue.
So a cool event for everyone, not just runners. You can find info and register at centennialairport5k.com.
Definitely worth checking out. And one more for the calendar.
Yep, over in Longmont at Vance Brand Airport, EAA Chapter 648 is doing a youth education fly-in.
When's that?
Saturday, June 21st. Morning event, 8 a.m. till noon.
What's happening there?
Classics fly-in stuff. Pancake breakfast, swap meet, silent auctions, planes on display, vendor booths, door prizes.
Sounds great. And all proceeds go to their youth education programs.
Exactly. It's a 501c3, so it all supports getting young people into aviation. More info at eaa648.org fly-in.
Good cause. And finally, the classifieds. Anything jump out?
Just one ad this time. A 2000 RV-6A asking $96,000.
Ah, the RVs. Popular kit planes. Sporty.
Yep. Gives the basic specs like coming 0360, 180 horse, fixed pitch prop, lists the airframe, engine, and prop times too.
Decent amount of info. And contact details for Eric Vickery if someone's interested.
Right. So that kind of wraps up our look through the May issue.
Yeah, quite a lot going on, isn't there? The Colorado aviation scene is definitely buzzing.
From local events and, important updates like the fuel and airport changes to those really cool personal stories and ways to get involved, it's all in there.
It really is. And we definitely recommend you check out the full newsletter for all the details we didn't cover.
For sure. And connect with the CPA online too, website, Facebook, Instagram, all those links are on page 23 of the newsletter.
Stay connected.
So listening to all this, thinking about everything happening, what part of Colorado aviation grabs your attention most right now? What makes you want to dig a little deeper or get involved?
Good question to ponder.
Yeah, something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
See you next time.